I hope you had a wonderful week of planning and plotting and preparing yourselves. And everyone's figured out what they really want to be doing as we come into what seems to be the climax of the campaign. But we're not there just yet. For the moment, everybody has been spending some time in training and preparation for the days to come. You spent the first night here without any real issue, simply returning to this place, having that chat with Wuxian, and then taking rest for the evening. But there should still be at least a week before any attack comes on this fort. And you have to wonder what you shall do in the meantime.
I have a plan. It's a very convoluted plan, but did anybody else come up with any ideas first?
Not good ones.
Hey, they may be better than mine. I make no promises.
Right, go ahead.
All right. If anybody wants to cue the Ocean's 11 theme.
I think I'll get copyright struck if I do that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, okay, let me pull up the very long message that I sent to RDM. Okay, so I have this kind of set up in like 5 separate phases. Because there's a lot of information that we need that we don't quite have right now. So the first thing that we need to do is get as much reconnaissance and information that we could possibly get, as well as give information that we want the enemy to know. So my thought, and I'm assuming this is at this point we're pitching this to Wuxian, we want to draw as many of the enemy as possible to this keep, to keep them away from the city itself. So we want to try to lure out the mayor's forces, the Crimson Tessin, Pike's men, any soldiers that they send to the northeast, basically whoever we can draw attention to us specifically. We know that they don't know 100% where this area is, but if Wuxian, and I don't mean literally you, Wuxian, I mean probably me, were to be seen retreating back to this area, that may give them the information that they need in order to actually go ahead and send some sort of force here. So the first part of this, having myself and maybe a couple of us go out just to sort of to us, quote unquote, on accident, or in a way that allows them to see where this particular keep is. Secondly, once the we do have an idea of the host or the mayor potentially sending a group to attack us, we do want to see about how many they are sending to us, so we can kind of create a sort of secondary plan just in case. We want to know how many soldiers they have, who's actually coming, if they have any officers or like at least well-known people who we should be wary of, who's leading them, do they have siege equipment, things like that. The second part of this is we do a little bit of guerrilla warfare, which I'm a little bit experienced with from my past. But what we want to do is just break down their morale in whatever way we can. Obviously, it's not going to take them very long to march here, so it's basically going to be about keeping them up at night, attacking them in small raids, not trying to like pick off a ton of them at once, but just 1 or 2 to always keep them awake so that they're constantly on guard and awake and not getting the opportunity to fully rest. We could soil some of their supplies. They're not, obviously it's not going to be long enough for them to starve or anything like that, but potentially sieging a keep on an empty stomach is going to be enough to make some of those soldiers think twice, because they're not trained professionals. These are people that they're pulling out from the guards and surrounding areas. The next part, after they do arrive, is we do want to at least probably have myself pretend to be Wuxian for at least a little while longer, just so that they don't send anybody away, so that they continue to keep their focus here. What I want to do is create a couple of sort of obvious areas for them to attack. So an area within the wall that we can potentially, quote unquote, knock down, to create a choke point to have them start to stream in, where Athos and I can potentially start to pick them off as they come through. I also wanted to potentially coat sections of the field in oil and hay and things like that, so that we can light those areas on fire to sort of not scorch or burn anybody alive, but to create as much chaos and confusion as possible. Again, driving a wedge into the morale. Once we get enough of them to actually come in behind the gates, we can knock that area of the gate down, light everything on fire, which creates a segment within the walls that we can sort of mop up their forces while we still have a numbers advantage before retreating to the keep itself and allowing them to come back towards us. Any questions so far?
Well, on the note of weak points, I would say to be careful. We have only repaired half of this fort, the part that was less damaged in the past, and we've established the wooden areas up the front, the palisades. They won't hold up to any form of siege equipment, obviously. But
they shouldn't have much in the way of siege equipment, right?
I doubt it. Anvisalia lacks any true military, and taking down forts and other siege equipment is used for war, something that the people here avoid at all costs.
How, in your history, because you're going to know more about this area than we do, would they plan on attacking the walls?
Well, considering that half of them are just wooden palisades, they'd likely try and burn them down.
And if we maybe showed that there was an area that was cracked or breaking already, do you think they would maybe focus on that?
They could simply try and brute force their way in. It is an option. I think it could work.
Probably our best shot then. Because if we can force them to create their own choke point, we can let them start to stream in, take them out a little bit one by one before retreating a little bit from the wall and then lighting the rest of the wall on fire ourselves. While that wall's on fire, clean up who's in the sort of courtyard area and then retreat to the keep.
Did you guys want me to throw you onto the other map just so you can have a better plan, just so you can just look over it all and whatnot?
Sure. And you can correct me if I'm wrong or have the wrong thought about any of this, but I assume they're going to be probably camping out in this sort of area, yeah? Because they'd want to attack the crappy palisade. Not to say that you guys didn't do a good job, but it's the weaker wall, right?
Most certainly. Breaking through solid stone is not an easy matter.
Exactly. So if we made maybe this area of the palisade wall look a little bit obviously weaker than the rest of it, and maybe show that it had been potentially repaired but it didn't work, just show that it could be easily knocked in, allow them to then knock it in, that could create a choke point for us right in this little area. Then once they get in, fair enough, but at least enough that we can still have a numbers advantage, take out that number, and then burn the rest of the wall while that is happening to stop them from pouring in anymore. And then once we clean up, let the wall finish burning, they'll probably end up marching past it, and we can retreat to the keep itself. Everybody on board so far? Any questions, comments, concerns?
Well, while we have the hay you can use, the only oil we keep on hand is for lanterns. I've seen what happens when there's too much oil in one place at a time, and protests often turn to flaming riots.
Which usually causes chaos and confusion as fire roars everywhere because oil catches super quick.
Of course, but that
Which
is
is
simply
sort
why I
of
don't
the
keep
vibe
too
we're
much
going for.
on hand for that reason.
Cattell, do you think you could maybe acquire us some oil?
I don't know if I could acquire the quantity you're hoping for. That's kind of a large endeavor. We once worked with a very flammable plant. Do we still have any of that left? The flay leaf or whatever it was?
Oh, we could get them high too. Oh wait, we could possibly get high. Never mind. What's the likelihood of us hotboxing ourselves on accident?
In open field, very low.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
I have some flay leaf, but again, not a large quantity.
Would flay leaf, and this is more of just a question maybe Cattell can answer for me, would flay leaf potentially work in the way that I'm kind of looking for, as far as just making a quickly flammable object that can light fire for at least a small period of time?
I just feel like it'd be like a very concentrated, small area, not big across the whole field thing.
Wuxian, do you know of where we could potentially get some oil?
Well, in a forest, obviously, but beyond that, not really.
What about some of the mines?
They would certainly keep some, but by the time you would head out there and return to here, it would likely already have been time for the arrival. It'd be very short on time.
Okay. Well, at the very least, they're already planning to burn down the palisade before we give them the sort of out that we want to. It shouldn't be too hard for us to at least stack some hay and burn the palisade walls while they're waiting outside relatively easily then, at the very least, right?
That should be completely doable, yes.
Okay. And then what we can also do is scatter some hay and lines and whatnot out over in the field itself, and then maybe with some well-placed fire arrows, start to light those on fire as they camp or as they're starting to get ready to attack. Again, not to scorch anybody, but just more to create fire and chaos. Would that be doable with what we have on hand?
Well, I can get one of my men to start working on some alchemist fire and oils and see what he can manage there.
That would be amazing. Cattell could probably help with that too.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
All right. So, next phase. With all that chaos, we're able to wipe out at least a good amount of them, and hopefully a couple of key figures who decide to follow us into the courtyard before we start burning the wall. Burn the wall to separate them out, take them out inside the courtyard. At that point, we can retreat to the keep, and then the rest of the main sort of like attacking host will start to, march on the keep itself. Correct?
They should do.
All right. Now at this point, they should be at least whittled down enough to where we can, and you can flip us back to the other map now.
Yeah.
At attack them from within the keep itself. So I'm gonna just. Let's see. This is where we usually come in, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. So a lot of these natural tunnels, right, are going to be a little bit easier to cave in, or harder to cave in than the stone tunnels.
If you were to you could simply block off the path, I suppose. There'd be loose rocks in the area you'd be able to topple if need be, but causing it to crumble and collapse may not be that easy.
Well, we could at least potentially cut them off, is my thought. Is there any way, and Cattell, again, you could help me on this one, as we could create some sort of like trip wire here, that as we were able to get most of their force in here, we're able to like cave in some of this doorway, either with rocks from the ceiling, or just trigger some sort of like, not a collapse of the room itself, because that may be difficult, but just to fill in with rocks and debris and things like that.
I mean, I might be able to do that. But another option, going back to what we were talking about before, I do have Flay Leaf in case you would like to, how you say, hotbox them.
Okay, we're gonna put that on our radar. Keep that as an option. After that, they have a couple of different paths to take, and what we can do is attack them from whatever path they send the least amount of men towards. Basically, to just start trying to draw them farther in, while also drawing them farther away from each other. Possibly the same sort of trap that we set up at this door, we could also set up at these doors as well, trapping them in so that they're unable to escape, at least for the time being. Like you said, it's probably not a permanent solution, but it doesn't need to be. And I mean, trapping them so that they starve or die doesn't sound like a great idea, I think, to anybody here. So this at least gives them an opportunity to survive once they dig themselves out, but they should be trapped in here long enough to at least allow us to win this particular siege, if that makes sense. After that, what we can do is start to, since they're trapped in here, cave in any of the, or at least block off any of the other tunnels, except for one final one that we can escape through, which similarly we can block off as we escape as necessary. With the idea that we're basically just trying to whittle them down one by one until they either accept, or they decide to surrender, or they are routed and are unable to continue. I probably explained it better, by the way, in my post, but that is off the top of my head what I had. I'm not actually looking at the notes right now.
You're all good, don't worry.
She knows what I mean.
Well, you definitely put a great deal of thought into this.
I spent an afternoon on it.
I do hope that it will work. I will trust you to lead the people as you see fit.
Appreciate that.
If there is anything I can offer you, please do let me know. We can have some get to providing any extra palisades or stone that you may need for some of these.
I think it'd be mostly stone for caving in some of the tunnels themselves, because I feel like in here in the tunnels are where we're going to actually be able to defend ourselves the best, and it's more about drawing them into traps topside.
Very well.
And continually offering them to leave, because that's fine too. We don't mind if they surrender and want to leave and run away.
It would be ideal if Little blood had to be shed.
Right, which is why, we try to destroy their morale as much as possible. Is there any other plans, ideas, corrections, Lynn, Athos, Patel?
Trust your judgment.
You really shouldn't in this manner, but okay.
You said you
So
want
I must.
to... Oh. You can go first.
You say you want to spare as much blood as possible. Are we trying to, for these guerrilla tactics that you intend to do you intend to just like pick them off and kill them?
I mean, yeah, there's gonna have to be some that die. We gotta, put the fear of paradise in them, if possible.
Fair enough.
We don't want to kill everybody. This is not about inflicting pain and death and suffering. But death is going to come to them, and anybody who sides with the mayor and plans on continuing a reign that has been proven to be what's the word I'm looking for? Oppressive. I was going to also say negligent to the people. Are, and as much as I hate to say it, complicit in that if they choose to back and support them. It's the reason why we came here and decided to side with Wuxian instead. So while it is unfortunate, it most likely will have to happen. And while I don't want to kill people, I am certainly not above doing it when necessary. And just being honest with ourselves, we're going to be at a disadvantage from both manpower as well as potentially skill as well. So we need every advantage that we can get. And if that means being underhanded, we will be underhanded. We don't have to force people to suffer. But if that means that they're going to have some sleepless nights and empty stomachs, then so be it.
Very well. Then I hope you do not mind that I use certain things that will most likely not kill them, although maybe eventually, but nothing can stop that.
Okay. It's okay if we don't kill them, admittedly. We don't have to kill everybody. If you have a way of disabling them without killing them, I'm certainly listening, unless you mean something that will prolong suffering in some way, shape, or form.
Well, the flames that I summoned earlier against the troll of the Screaming Skulls,
that was terrifying.
Seem to have an effect of actually causing insanity within people. The flames themselves aren't particularly too dangerous, but things like that is acceptable, right?
Is it permanent?
It is drained, so kind of.
It's ability damage.
And it is listed as an evil spell.
Wait, was it permanent? I totally missed that, I'm sorry.
It's as permanent as damage is. You recover 1 point of ability damage per day, but
I mean, that sounds like not permanent to me. But I hear you.
And I can also cause my only spell that works on large numbers of people would be that, and a spell that causes a sickness among numerous people.
How bad is the sickness?
Cancer.
Jesus. So death.
Eventually, but that happens anyways.
Is it really cancer? What?
I was going to use irradiate.
Got it.
Strength and con damage, man.
Con damage is deadly.
Yes.
As someone who's had a character die from con damage, yeah. Con damage is rough.
Hmm.
If you use either of those spells, does that put any of us at risk?
As long as you're far away, should be all right.
We may not be that far away, is my only point.
Well, it may be a good idea to stay 30 feet away from you.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, well... I don't particularly like it, but at the same time, I feel like I don't have a lot of choice when it comes to choosing the help that I'm going to receive at the moment. And we can warn them.
And on the bright side, they might survive.
On the bright side, they might survive. People who would use the laws in order to subjugate other people, there's not many things worse than that to me. Patel, do you have any other ideas? It sounds like you were going to say something too.
You said you want to disguise yourself as Wuxian. How long would that last you? Is it something that would be spent for a deal of time, or like an afternoon?
I feel like it doesn't have to be long periods of time, just enough to be spotted retreating to where they believe us to be.
Gotcha.
And then once they're here, long enough for them to see and believe that Wuxian is here, and then back to normal.
Okay.
Wuxian, does all that sound good to you? This is your keep and your men, after all.
That is true. I'm a bit concerned about poisoning a large number of them, but it is, well, not exactly war, but the saying still stands.
They are complicit, and I think that's the way we have to look at it. You warned them. They are aware of what the mayor has done and is doing. There's only so much help that we can offer somebody before they become an enemy. And when they are the enemy, there's only so much quarter that we can give.
You may be right in that. I hope you'll be able to change some of their minds at the least. But
We'll try.
I understand that death will come for many of them.
All of them eventually.
Right. But it need not all be by our own hands. Yes, this should do fine.
For a lot of the guerrilla tactics and stuff, I mean, we probably could send some of Wuxian's men, if that's okay.
Well, I shall be leaving you with some of the Fionid that have been working alongside us.
How many are we getting, out of curiosity?
So long as you're willing to accept them, any of the ones that are up on the surface. I can
The
leave.
cats?
And you get the cat. You get the cats.
Yeah, okay.
Let Giggles die.
I mean, I'll do my best. I can't promise anything. If it's gonna give me haste, no. Sorry, I'm just kidding. I would not actually do that. That's terrible. Okay. How many people people is that though? Just like out of curiosity from a personnel standpoint.
Oh, let me get to count. We have 1, 2, 3.
Because is it like 5 people total?
5, 6. There is 7 people up there, I believe. I think that's right. Plus 2 if you count the cats.
So 7 feeling it, 2 large cats, and then 3 of us.
Also, the old Drakon will be staying here.
Which Drakon?
Oh, Dejun. He's an elderly Drakon. He has some talent for healing and purifying water.
Well, we may need that. Speaking of, where is there a natural source of water down here?
Yes, actually. If you head up to the north, we have water for drinking and bathing. It has a natural run through some of the cave systems, but the passageways are too narrow to really swim through.
Okay. Well, at least we have that. And then where are the exit tunnels?
The exits that you should be able to use will be to the far northwest and to the southeast.
So up here?
If you can see the ping.
Oh yeah, okay. Is there any way we can like have these tunnels mapped and explored before we go all the way up there?
You're welcome to explore them if you'd like.
Should we be worried?
There's no dangers out there. It's
Okay.
simply just a maze.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Could you give us a map of that, Wuxian, or did you bother to map it, or?
I have only kept a mental map for the time being.
Okay.
That's through the door.
Oh yes. Hold on.
Okay. Well, we can map them ourselves as necessary. That's fine. I am flipping slow. There we go.
Lynn goes on a magical journey.
Okay.
It took me so long to dynamic lighting this entire area.
Jeez, yeah, I can kind of tell.
It was a lot of fun building this map, though.
Okay.
You found a ladder.
Can I just like map this for them while I'm wandering through?
I'm kind of doing the same thing. Well, this could be something we do. We have like 7 days. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it went away. What the heck?
Hmm?
Said I like walked through it, but then it went away.
Oh, strange. It's still an explorable darkness, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna like do the thing where like like goes back to like sort of the darkened gray, but it just disappears on the left side.
Huh. That is very odd.
Yeah, but I'm also like lagging heck of
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I think it's also just because the map's kind of big and there's a lot of journal entries now, so it's just being a pain.
It is just pure black for me right here. I don't know if that's supposed to be a wall.
That is a wall, yes. You're on the top side of the wall, though. You'd be
It
looking.
ends very abruptly.
Yes.
Would it be alright for us to assume that we're able to map that and have some sort of plan?
If someone's willing to spend an afternoon doing so, then sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of things we gotta do. Okay. And then, Gatel, did you have any other ideas as well? Or anything that we didn't?
Not particularly. But when you say you want to collapse the tunnel, you don't mean fully, right?
Some of them, yes.
Well, what if we collapse too many and we can't get out?
No, we need to have like a plan of collapsing the tunnels. Like, we should close off avenues for them as we're able to sort of pick them off until the only one available is out, and then we can close that one off in front of us, and then we can escape.
Good luck.
It is.
Can I try to get past it?
You may attempt to use disable device if you like.
Okay, actually, how do we get down here? Like, what door?
Yes. Getting down that way, you can either try and climb up the wall over here, or there's probably some other method. Lynn's found something, but just know how to get through the door. It is a stubborn lock.
Where are you, Lynn? How'd you
On
get
the
over
other side of the world.
How'd you get over there? I'm stuck again, so I'll be there in a bit.
Now hold on.
I just like come back and ask Wuxian if she has a key to it without dragging Lynn all the way back through the dynamic lighting.
Hold on.
Nope. Oh, some of it just appeared for me way over there.
Yeah, I'm hitting the explorable darkness reveal tool.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I did it earlier, but
so
apparently it didn't
it's
work.
the same door, you just go all the friggin' way around. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, found our exit strategy. That's a lot of room to have things go wrong for baddies. Traps, 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 traps. Cattell, traps.
I'm gonna try to set him up.
Cattell, how good is your craft trap making skill?
Oh, you have to have a specific skill.
Darn it.
Yes
Again.
and no. You can make improvised traps like pretty easily. Like that's not too difficult, but the matter of hiding and utilizing them properly requires a skilled trap maker.
And I just assume that she does not have a lot of skilled trap makers on hand right now.
I can make some traps.
Really?
Magical one.
Okay. How long do they last?
They're primitive, but they do cost money.
Okay, we're doing okay on money. How much money do they cost per trap?
Around 200 gold worth of diamond.
Ooh. I mean, A, we need diamond. B, that's a lot. Okay, maybe we just work on trying to cave in or at least make rocks fall into some areas.
I could also set up some cursed treasure traps.
What are those like?
Those cost only a platinum.
Okay.
And if someone opens up a container, then, well, they get a curse.
Ooh. And you get to choose, like, the soakers?
Yep.
Okay. That may be more practical. One of these days that we have that we're sort of figuring out what our next planet, or waiting to hear back and do some of the guerrilla tactics with some of the filling it. NVIDIA will take time to like map out all of the space.
Alrighty.
And Wuxian, when are you guys leaving?
We should, if they are indeed coming, then we should depart by day 5.
Okay. And you're pretty confident that you're going to be able to stay hidden.
I am fairly confident in the matter. Half of us will head east, the other half west.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. We'll play Hey Look, we're Wuxian over here.
Hopefully they do not get too zealous on the matter.
Well, that may be good for you. You never know.
There is only one other thing you may want to have some concern about.
Okay.
Well, all of you were brought here and hired by the mayor, correct?
Yes.
It is possible that there will be others. If word gets around about what is going on, depending on how foolish the guards are, whoever is reporting this all back, then more headhunters might come this way.
True. We know some of them. Maybe we can get them to help us out.
Perhaps, but it's just some words of caution, that is all. Alright, anyway. Oh, it looks like most of the map's actually finally getting the revealed. I don't know, man. Feels like it is. I'm sorry, it's so bloody laggy.
It's alright. Not your fault.
I mean, it is. I'm the one who made the map 70 by 60.
It's really laggy when I try to walk into something that I'm allowed to, not allowed to move into.
Then just need to stop walking into illegal things, obviously. Goodness. Alright. So, if you guys want to do some kind of traps, you can attempt to do so. Most of them will not be able to reset or anything like that.
Since it's sort of a controlled retreat, that's probably okay. Because that's what this really is. It's just a really in control, incremental retreat, while taking as many of them out as possible at all times.
Yeah.
And basically just making it so that we can escape, cave everything in, and, you know, 2 luck, try again next time for anybody who's still alive.
In that case, I would suggest one glyph of warding trap, like at the entrance of the underground.
Okay. What does Glyph of Warding do?
Make it so I can set either do some damage or set up to a 3rd level spell whenever that will trigger upon certain condition. And I can set a password, so we should be fine, and anyone with us.
Is there any way you can trigger it just for when you say for it to go? So if we're able to see that most of them have come in, that's when you trigger it?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, that's bad.
Unless we use something that will trigger it for us. Or someone.
What do you mean?
Well, I could set it to trigger when someone goes past it, and you know the rest probably.
Like someone specific?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, does it have to be one of us, or can you determine that person later?
Well, it can be done according to certain physical characteristics. Or creature type.
My only thought is that this is a good idea. I like it. But we need to wait until we hear who's coming. And we got to make sure we know when they're going to come in, too. Because if it's the type of person that leads and comes in first, and then the glyph of warding goes off while they're the only one there, that may not help, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Unless
Also can be set to alignments or certain religions.
Yeah, but... yeah.
Did Glyph of Warding also have a password? I don't remember.
Sorry, what's that?
Was Glyph of Warding one of the ones that had a password?
You can set a password.
That's just also one thing to consider.
How does the password work? Just you say the password and then it goes off?
I say the password and it doesn't go.
Oh, got it. Well, that could kind of work. Because every time it requires you to say the password, do you know? Does it give you a little ping in your head?
I don't think so.
Okay, you just have to visually see it and then say the password as you see it?
Just before as you enter it, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. My thought is because at that point you could just wait until enough people have passed and then let it go off. Was my thinking. But never mind.
Well, if we find someone that looks certainly unique and looks like a leader, we can set it up for him then.
Yeah, that would probably be the best bet. And we can just use that sort of, maybe ask for RLA and see if they want to come out and talk, and whoever talks will sort of have the idea as the leader. Tell them that they're a danger, ask for their surrender, let them know what we plan on doing to them without revealing the plan, obviously. But just so they know that they may get sickened and irradiated, whatever that means. I mean, it's fair, just let them know.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. I think that's a good idea, though, Athos. I think just make sure that we have an idea of who we're casting it against before you said it.
Of course.
Alright. Then, could we have some of Wuxian's men help us start to set some of those, cave-in traps and stuff?
Alrighty. What kind of trigger do you want for these?
What kind are they capable of making?
I mean, tripwires are one of the easiest ones. You're trying to make it to go for explosives. But,
Can they make explosives?
Cattell can.
True. Oh, I wasn't even thinking of explosives, but yeah, now that those would actually cave in some of those areas.
Yeah, I thought that's what the plan was for that the entire time.
Oh, I was thinking just finding a thing with rocks. And, yeah, no, if that's the thing that we can do.
Stereotypical Skyrim cave where you walk forward and go over the tripwire and some rocks fall on you.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate to be honest, but yes.
Those things, I never understood how they actually work. The amount of weight that's supposedly being held in by that single tripwire is incredible.
Yeah. I think it's a pulley system, but I don't know how it works. Sorry?
And for the triggers for the traps, we could put a small container full of gold that I can curse.
Mm-hmm.
So that they might run towards it.
I mean,
And get
yeah.
2 traps.
2 traps for the price of 1.
Mm.
Okay. Well, let's set one here at the entrance, obviously. That can be both the Glyph of Warding and a cave-in trap, because we don't want them to leave. They need to be stuck in here with us. I mean, is there any way that we can make that a self-trigger, like we trigger it?
I mean, if you want to, you could always just have... You could set up a pulley system and just, like, cut a rope and then cause it to drop. That's not too hard.
Okay. I mean, that may be one of the better ideas. And then, depending on how many we have the ability to do, basically these could be like tripwires, and as a couple of them go in, one of them sets it off, traps a couple of them in each room, you know? That would help. And then after that, I think this area here is where we can get very guerrilla and sneaky. You know what I mean? So we should be able to get a good... I mean, honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest, set a tripwire here too that we're able to maybe have them set off and stick get a couple of them stuck in here as well. But then force them into this area, and then we can sort of guerrilla attack them as we can. And then Athos, maybe set up some of your coin traps in here. Some of those that care more about the coin and less about the, you know, everything else can get trapped by those. And then, what's our exit? Do we want our exit to be up here, or our exit to be all the way down here? Athos could tell. What are you thinking?
Sorry, where did you want to set it up?
Oh, my thought was we need to have our exit. So do we want to exit up here? Or do we want to exit all the way down, you know, yeah, here-ish?
I mean, I won't be here for this, but my kind of thinking, if I were, would probably be to kind of gauge based on how many people are following. So if you only have one or two people, then I would say go to the closer exit. But if you have a bunch following you, then I think it would be good to kind of like get them lost in the caves. Go for the further exit.
That's true. Then let's set at least a couple more cave-in explosions. But these ones we can trigger ourselves, maybe like as we walk through with the rest of our group. Just a quick pulley button that we can cave in behind us so that we can escape upwards. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's just have some horses waiting at either exit so we can escape on horseback.
Well, just so you know, the way those ones work, I'll throw back this map real quick. So the trapdoors are relevant directly to the map above, because it is literally above and below for this map. It is just down in that area around the hilled spot, as you guys are on top of a small hill, and that's just the little mountainside that it goes down. So you're around in that little spot there. Getting horses there, not exactly easy, but you could always plan a route out that way. Similarly, the one up to the north is hidden in amongst the tree line beneath one of the bushes over there.
Okay. Is there any caves or anything in this area, like where the tunnels lead out that we can hide the horses in, or are the horses just chilling in the trees, looking real obvious?
In the nearby area, the best bet would be back up in the hills. There's no small caves in this kind of place. You could just get them a distance away if you really wanted to, but that's still out in the open and rather obvious.
Yeah, if there's a way that we could do it maybe in the distance somewhere, so they're not like right where the enemy is going to be, where they can just kind of like, oh look, there's some horses over here. Oh, what else is over here?
So yes, there is the base of the hill that they could be going to, or up in the forest area. But you need to make that decision in advance if you want to have easy access to the animals.
Yeah, no, I agree. Where do you all think? What offers more coverage? The hill?
From Arrowfire, certainly. The hills, the mountainous area, so the cliff-like area to the south, will have more highs and lows, and people will be able to take fire from above, but there should be more cover in that heading down. After that, it's clear. And to the north, it's a smaller forest area where you could hide, but the forest doesn't last for too long.
Okay.
So both have a sense of immediate cover, but the hills are much more difficult to traverse. So you won't be able to be chased down by any horses or the like.
Okay, so maybe down at the base of the hills. Okay, let's plan to have horses down by the hills then. Some of our extra equipment and stuff.
Alrighty then. If anyone wants to make a note of what they're planning. You guys are welcome to draw on the map. Wait, as soon as we get switched over.
Alright, where's the official door to the downstairs, just so I know that I'm circling the right one?
Just there.
That did not pop up.
I put text on it, and I think that the darkness ate it.
Oh no. Damn you, darkness.
I can see it, but only just barely, and I can't see my text at all. But I see the ladder, it exists. Oh, and I can move my text even though I can't see it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Normally where I'm at, that's where we come down, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to know like where. Oh yeah, no, I know that ladder. I was thinking more where we come in for down from the keep.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that right where you are.
Is it a ladder or is it a staircase?
It is a staircase.
Okay, and the staircase leads like here.
And it comes from the south, leading forwards to where you are.
Okay. So basically, I'm just trying to find where the arch in that staircase is, because that's where I was going to draw the first circle.
Okay.
Like if it was right there. Or...
Yeah, we'll go with right there. What was I watching the other day? There was something about the idea of D&D versus movies, and just the fact that in a movie, no one watches the people sit around for 8 hours planning out exactly how their plan's going to work out. They just cut to them doing it and when it's going to happen.
Alright. That's actually very true. I did put down all the circles where I think like the general cave-in stuff could be. Like just to sort of like trip them up. Tripwires, such like that.
Alright.
It probably goes without saying, but we are telling our fielded allies what the plan is so they don't set them off themselves.
Len, you actually doing this?
I mean, not like during this. 5 days that she is here, yes, she is going to go through and ask for every single person's name.
Alrighty. I'll get that to you eventually.
Wow.
Don't worry.
Wow.
All of them were prepared. Every single person in this base has a name and a short backstory prepared.
You should probably ask them a little bit about themselves too.
Ah!
Learn why they're fighting for Wuxian's cause. What brings them here?
What are their motivations?
Literally, I wrote this down.
Alright.
They're going to send it to me. And update all of their names. So I know who they are. So it makes us do things. Instead of just devout Drucker. Who are you? What does this mean to you?
I'm sorry, as an aside, how we can cave in this area right after we leave.
Which one, sorry? Just just in general, the whole place?
Sorry, the southeast ladder.
Oh, yeah. I mean, getting the actual spot to cave in might be a bit difficult just because it's relatively well held up. Like, this is the part they've had to do a lot of work on in order to make sure it was going to remain standing while they transport materials and whatnot throughout the place.
Okay. I just want to block them off is sort of the goal.
Don't want anyone getting back out that way is the big thing.
Yes, or the northwest as well. So where did that ladder go? There you are. Maybe actually right there. And then, is there any other exits out of here?
Only those 3.
Okay. I meant, I'm sorry, exits into the tunnels.
Like I said, you can climb out through the rough walls in that tunnel there, right near the entrance.
Okay, so then we would have to cave this side in. Because we don't want that. We don't want that from here either. Sorry, those don't have to be traps. That just should be caved in at some point. So they can't do that.
Alright, so this is the majority of the planning. The execution will be an interesting matter. So, who here is capable of actually, well, building and managing all of these traps and the like?
Devout.
I give it my best shot.
Alrighty. Would you like to devote most of your attention to creating alchemicals, such as the explosives required, oil, in order to create more fires, or the traps? You can, of course, split your attention, but it is an important question to ask.
if I were to focus on the bombs and alchemical stuff, does anyone else want to take a shot at the traps, or is it something that I would be better suited for?
How would we? I feel like that since the traps kind of require explosives a little bit, most of us don't really know how to do that.
Coronas can help you. Although, not much.
He
There's a
can.
bit about engineering.
That's something. Cronus is a multi-talented bird.
Don't sleep on Cronus.
Actually, what is his int score now? I think he might be smarter than some of the party.
Oh,
He's been
Oh!
smarter than me for a long time.
mm-hmm.
I'll probably split my attention then.
Alrighty. Alright, so if you're going to be splitting your attention, for the alchemicals, are you going to go for the explosives or just the oil for the general chaos?
Probably the oil for the chaos.
Alrighty. So in that case, still, can you give me a craft alchemy check?
We'll call it a success. Just kidding.
Just
Oh,
in
that's
general, yeah. The level of success is also important.
Got it.
Do you have inspiration you feel like using?
Oh, I have much, yes.
Hey, take the 27. It is better than the 25.
It's better than a 25. Alright, so that's that side of things. Are you going to be spending all of your days and nights doing this? Because one way...
Doesn't someone have like a spell or something where like they can stay up at night and not be fatigued? Is that a thing?
only if you do light activities, so you can keep watch. Though,
Okay.
technically, Athos does know a spell that could be used.
Oh.
Not the ring, right? Because we buried the ring.
Not the ring.
No. It's a napster.
It works once a week, but you can use it to get a full night's rest in 2 hours.
But it's only used once a week, so I feel bad if I'm the one just using that up.
Oh, it's once per week per target.
Oh, okay.
How many times have you used it so far anyway?
Well, it's a level 3 spell, so...
Oh.
I mean, if we got it, why not use it?
That is very true.
Yep, basically lets you sleep for 8 hours and you slept for 4 days.
Okie dokie.
I will need a little silk pillow with 100 gold.
There is one of those here, but only one.
That's fair.
Alright.
Is it Wuxian's?
No, it's Rose.
Ah, okay.
Rose needs a soft pillow in order to accommodate her flaky skin.
Okay.
I I don't know if everyone remembered that, but Ro has, like, very burnt arms and hands.
Oh, I think you described her as having burns.
Yeah, it doesn't really show up in her image there, but yes. She has suffered some very clear damage there. But anyway. Yes, she will provide the silk pillar. Alright. So you can choose when you want to do that if need be. But the option is now there. So, Cattell, if you want to spend all of the relevant days just performing this work, it means you'll not be able to join in any of the potential raiding activities.
Does anyone think I'll be missed if I don't go to those?
Don't say it like that.
No one wanted me there anyway, guys.
I mean, I'm not so naive as to believe I'm particularly helpful in the combat realm. So.
I mean, I'm not saying this just to make you feel better, but you have probably the most important job. In the sense of, like, all of the trap planning and the crafting and the alchemy, that, like, so much of that, of what we're planning on doing hinges on all that. Like, you probably have the most important job, so we're more than willing to, you know, take care of the other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being 100% serious right now. You, like, this kind of hinges on you, and I feel bad for putting you in that situation.
I mean, if anything, I'm just happy that I can actually be of use this time.
Feels bad, man.
But I'll be happy to stay here while you guys go on the guerrilla warfare type raids you were talking about.
Okay.
She will politely refuse.
Well, there's fear in that.
Such is fate.
We've actually been going through and naming all of them.
Don't let it stop you.
Don't worry. I'm almost done. The ox doesn't have a name.
His name is, Ox.
Pork chop.
The Ox.
This one. Alright, is that everyone? I think that's all of them. I was doing upstairs as well.
Alright, and would there be any objections to using 250 gold from the party funds to set up that lift trap and 5 pots of cursed treasure?
Not for me.
No. My only concern with the cursed treasure is I mean, I hope that they're smart enough to realize that if they do it once, I mean, I hope they're too dumb, but I also hope they're, you know, intelligent enough creatures to realize that if one of them is trapped, then the rest of them are. So I just worry it would be a waste to have more than just like 1 or 2.
Well, the thing is, if they don't take it, then it's ours again. And if they do take it, then we can get it back.
That's fair.
And then the other thing is that the curse itself is not visible, so they may not see immediately, right?
Yep.
Or is there a big icon over their head when they're cursed, that with a little timer next to it in the corner?
Well, think of it this way: when you get cursed by bestow curse, it depends. What would you be putting on it, Athos?
I was thinking the most practical thing down here would probably be just to blind them.
Yeah. That works. So
Be
you,
pretty-
you touch a bit of treasure and you become blind. I feel like you're probably going to notice that.
I was thinking like
Well,
the
the
other
other people might.
people may not notice. Maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be chaotic. They're gonna be scared, hungry, tired. Hopefully.
Well, think of it this way: the one person touches it goes blind. The other guys pick up the gold.
Oh, doesn't it discharge upon it being touched?
On one person. So the rest of the gold is fine, and the other people can take it.
Okay then, I was gonna say, 'cause, like, it'd be even funnier if it was like everyone who touches it always gets cursed. One person runs over, touches, it's like, oh god, I'm blind. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, treasure. Picks it up. Oh god, I'm blind.
And I like at the end of it, it says that if you do it, the person who casts the spell takes the treasure, then it doesn't affect them.
Mm. Alrighty. So, yes, you can curse a bunch of treasure if you so desire.
I mean, if they are money grubbing sort of mercenaries after us, I think it will
I think
work.
it goes a lot for them.
Yeah, it is. Not for us right now, but
10 gold's 10 gold, man.
I mean that's true. That's also true.
I mean, like, IRL. You wouldn't, like, jump into a pit for $10, but if I offered you $10, you'd still take it. Alright. So that's that. So if Cattell... Sorry, went off on that sidetrack. Cattell, if you're going to be spending the rest of the days prepping, can I get 2 more craft alchemy checks? Alright, 37 and 25. Pretty good. And for the trap making, can you give me a craft trap making check, please?
That's just a roll 20, right?
Plus your intelligence modifier.
Oh. And then I think that's plus 4.
Alright. And this is a skill, therefore you can add inspiration to it.
Ooh.
Would it be possible for Coronas to support with knowledge engineering?
Yeah, he can give me a roll to assist. That's exactly enough to get an assist.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
That's pretty good. That's what, 15, 16, 17, right?
Yep, that is correct.
That's good.
Alrighty. And then can I get 2 more of those?
Let's go, Patel. Let's go.
Oof.
Okay, that was a little rougher.
Don't worry, I'm sure I get a 6 on the inspiration.
Inspiration.
You can spend the point to get it, so you know it works.
Nice.
Alright, and Cross is able to assist both times. Cool. So the second day of trap making doesn't go all too well.
Yeah.
But the third one goes really well. You make a lot of progress in setting things up. So, with that, we can have... Alright. Divide by 5. you should be able to get with the stuff from your craft alchemy checks. You'll be able to cover about 25 squares with oil. So you'll be able to pick those out as you so choose. And with the successful trap making checks, you're able to get some of the simple ones out on day 2, but that's just setting up pulley systems and like with some help with some of the other manpower. And you can choose 4 spots to put up other traps throughout the tunnels as you see fit. And from the other person who was going to help with this stuff, you guys are able to get enough to take down 8 doors, collapse 8 specific areas.
That's not bad.
He spent 4 days just making alchemist fire.
I mean, hey, we'll take it.
Yeah. So, I'll let you pick that out. We'll move you over to the fort screen again, so you can pick out where you want to go. And like I said, you have 25 squares worth of oil that you can cover up.
Whatever you think is best, Vital. You're the one who made it. I think it should be. You should have a say in where it goes.
So you said you want this to be like a choke point?
Yeah, but that I think we're going to make. We're not going to burn that particular area down. We're going to weaken it so that they can destroy it themselves. So basically, kind of make it look less like a trap, if that makes sense. But make it obvious enough that they would be like, "Oh, we should take that out." And then I think what we could do, and again, you should be the one that's saying this, have oil out here in sort of like rows and lines that could create like lines of fire, maybe? Just to sort of separate their army up. I'm not sure where, the other thing is I don't know really where they're going to be. And then we can also have a little bit of oil. I wouldn't want to do all of it, but like maybe put some hay and stuff like Wuxian's men were gathering in here so we can light that and burn the wall down if necessary. So that doesn't have to be oil, that could be just hay and stuff. And you may have a better idea too.
I'm not really good at this thing.
That's all good.
Shift? What do you mean shift? Right click? Right click and shift. Jesus. Okay. Here, what you want to do?
I mean, I'm not sure where they're going to be, so maybe relatively close to the wall, just so that I've funneled them, maybe, or at least cause enough chaos so some of them kind of get separated from some of their other people.
If anybody else has any oil on their persons for lanterns or torches and the like, they can also use this to add them to a square. Is obviously consume what you have, but 1-for-1 ratio on that.
How many How much oil does Wuxian have?
They only really have stuff for the lanterns, but in total that should be able to supply about an additional week's worth of oil. So you'll be up at about 7 squares of the little bits they would be using.
Got it. Yeah, I don't have any lanterns. I don't think I can see in the dark. Do Felon have dark vision?
No, they have low light vision, so they can see at night, but not so well in dark caverns.
So we should have some oil for the caverns.
Uh,
What I'm getting out of this.
I mean, look, just think of it this way: Kittel and Athos also can't see in the darkness.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know that too. Also that, yes.
Actually, though,
Dark vision spell.
I have a dark vision extract that I could
Eh?
prepare.
There you go.
I'm finally not the only one with dark vision.
Lynn's had dark vision. She just needs to turn to a
That's
tiger
true.
to do it.
Yeah, other than Lynn, which is a tiger.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just putting stuff on the map, and I
Hey,
don't
man.
really have a plan.
That's fine. You've got a whole in-game day worth of time to plan it out. An IRL week, effectively.
Maybe not so close to the wall for like those last couple squares, because we don't want the walls to go up until we want them to go up.
Struggling. Ah!
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's Roll20. I understand the pain.
Mike usually does this stuff, not me.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. Learning Roll20 is an experience. The macro system / their not
I keep on meaning to do
coding.
macros.
Yeah, but their syntax. Oh my god.
I keep on meaning to do macros for like judgments and stuff because I think it could look really cool.
Yeah.
Especially if she can get real anime with it, but
Exactly. Like.
I keep on forgetting to actually go and learn how to do it.
Sometimes you can just be nice and basic. While Catel's looking up some of this stuff, I'll just grab this generic macro that I do have from the campaigns that I do play in. Because I never set them up as a GM, because that would be far more work than is necessary.
Nope, I totally get that. I don't do it either. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay. We'll go with this one. It might take a bit. There you go. Oh, sorry, that's supposed to be...
Is this a summoner?
No. This is a weird thing.
Got it. Is this like the squid thing where you get a bunch of attacks with each of your tentacles? And...
No, this is just a plant-shaped character.
Oh, cool. That's a lot of damage.
Yes. They also have dragon style, so they do monk kinds of things with their natural attacks via that 1 feet for I don't know, natural weapon synergizing with monk abilities.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They eventually pick up Stunning Fist and Elemental Fist to play around with that kind of thing.
Nice. Sounds fun.
Yeah, I am playing a mushroom.
Got it.
I'll actually, well, like I said, in the meantime, just as a thing, that's what that macro looks like in off topic, and that's like the simplest you can do. Yeah, that's just me plugging in all of the relevant numbers and whatnot. You can use their syntax to add in the relevant strength, crit ranges, BAB and calculate it all out. But, oh my god, it takes so long. The problem with this character is that they have variable strength because of their plant shaping.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
Yeah. And I'll post the relevant picture for that character / pictures. In here.
Probably should have the ox and the cart out of the way too, I imagine. That won't be just hanging out there.
You know, we'll go with this one as well. Our friend actually got art commission for everyone in that campaign. They are really well done.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember this. You had this on the thing.
Yeah.
On the thing. I remember this.
The deal for glasses were very necessary for a while. Yeah, and then Eldritch Horror things happen because reasons. That's what everyone wants in their game, right? It's just some spontaneous Eldritch Horror.
Always.
That's good.
Campaign 2 cast. I keep on just saying random things in Campaign 2 to my group, and all of them are terrified of ending Campaign 1, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is what awaits them. Who knows?
Okay, that's 25.
Alrighty.
I'll just turn on that.
You're welcome to tell me to move things around because I'm not great.
No, I trust that. That's probably pretty good. And it goes into those rocks over there, and that's going to be an obstacle no matter what.
Ah, yes. You guys can take from the rocks and whatnot that are just piled around. The ones that look like they're actually in a pile are the collected bits that have been used in order to repair bits of the fort as time goes on. But you could use them yourself in order to set up some of those traps in the tunnels.
It's up to Trap Team for that.
Well, like I said, Cattell, I believe it was...
Coronas.
Oh, yes. Cronus then. You guys are able to get, 8 collapses and 4 actual traps to place throughout the halls as you see fit. And I will, if you're happy with those for the time being, I'll transfer you guys back to the other map so you can figure out where you want to place all of those.
Sounds good.
That sound good to you, Cass?
Place the tramps.
Where to put them?
Doorways, generally speaking. Let's think about the ones we absolutely need first.
Yeah.
We need one for the main door to trap them in.
This does not count Athos's glyph trap or any of his cursed treasure traps.
Do not count, right?
Yeah, they do not count.
Right. Okay. So we need one for the main door, for sure, and then we need one for the 2 exits because they need to be trapped in here after we leave. So one here. Yeah, we're right next to where my. So you can just use my circles if that helps.
Awesome. My thingy's all black, so can't.
Oh.
Do I have to walk over there to see it and put it?
Probably. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll, there you go.
Aha!
Light!
Can you move her around by point?
Sorry?
Huh?
You could move her around while we point at things, just so she can kind of see.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There you go. Yeah, so like right here. And then the other 2 that we absolutely need are the other 2 entrances. So over here by the southeast ladder. You're gonna have to move her over there.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah. I put a circle over there, but who knows where it actually is.
It's over the ladder.
Yeah, I think her thing is lagging so much because I'm looking at her screen and she's over there, but it's not lighting anything up.
Oh, that's because she immediately moved back. Yeah, I don't know what happened. You just went right back.
Hold on, I'm gonna refresh.
Okay.
Okay, so we definitely need the 2 ladders out, so all 3 entrances and exits. And then I think the entrance and exits into these catacombs over here would probably be good too. For 4.
Let's see here. I'm in the bottom, but I'm completely black. I mean, not completely black, but everything's dark. I can't.
Oh, wait, that's probably why. You don't have any... Look, here you go. You get a lantern. You don't have dark vision, remember? You were just surviving off the relevant lanterns that are all throughout this place. The caves are dark and scary.
Caves are dark. Okay, so wait, what kind of traps did you want there, babe? Collapse trap.
Yeah, so you guys have 8 simple hallway simple traps that can collapse, and you have 4 more complicated traps that you can place in the tunnels. So take your pick for each of them and whatnot.
Too much power.
You can always rely on the party for guidance. Right, guys?
Sorry, I was holding it.
Don't worry, the silence helped the moment. It's fine.
Yeah, so for the first 3, I mean, my recommendation, and again, overrule me since you're the one who actually made them, would be the entrances and exits. So the entrance you first did, the ladder where you are, and then the final ladder in the upper left corner. Be the last one.
I can't go anywhere.
Wait, where are you? Oh my god, you got stuck.
Like, part of me is lagging and part of it is just because I get stuck everywhere.
Yeah. You're just falling into the walls which are impassable.
Okay, now you were saying...
You got 5 more to put wherever you want. I trust your judgment. Lynn, just out of curiosity, what's your plan when it comes to helping Wuxian? While she's setting the other traps. Just figured.
As of right now, I'm pretty much just gonna stay by her side and do what she tells me to do.
Has she told you at all, like, what her plan is?
Not too many details. I've been more focused on other matters.
Got it. things start to get out of control and you don't feel safe, please make sure you do remember that you can leave.
I'll make sure I do what's right for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just want you to be safe is all, and I know you trust her, but there are times when I still question, you know?
Things have evolved. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, that's fair.
I feel like NVIDIA's ready to roll sense motive.
I trust my friends. Kind of. Mostly. Definitely. Absolutely. Most likely. Definitely.
We'll stick
Your
with that.
friend who is predisposed to dishonesty.
I think we've come to a good accord, right? You're not gonna lie to me. I just want you to
Would I?
don't make me sense motive you. I'm gonna figure it out. Your bluff ain't that high. My wisdom went up. That means my sense motive went up too.
Hey, her charisma went up.
Oh, that actually is a good point. Yeah. And then, well, then also I have scrutiny. So
I mean, yeah, it doesn't say you won't win this fit, but
I'm just saying, I will find out what I need to find out.
I will Inquisitor at you.
I'm not even gonna roll. I trust my friend. It's okay. With that said, I do have a favor to ask you.
Okay.
Actually, before I ask you the favor, we do need a meetup spot for if everything goes extremely well. We need to meet back up because this place is not it. We will be burning it down and filling it with full of holes. It's not going to be useful. So where should we meet up? You, me, Athos, and Cattell.
There was a city that you mentioned to her, and she was uncomfortable discussing that city.
You remember what city that is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just being vague.
Yes, I hear you. I'm just making sure.
We could maybe meet up there.
That's not too far away, I don't think.
And it's not somewhere that I think people would really generally go.
Okay.
And it's hopefully not infected with the undead that were left behind.
Hopefully not. We have that marked on our map, right?
Yes, you guys know what Jacko is.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, yeah, we can meet up there then. I think that's a good idea. It's far enough away so that if everything does go to shit, we can run away.
Mm-hmm.
And that is an option for us as well. Okay. Athos, you're within shouting distance. Athos, we have an area to go to. Just a heads up, meeting spot.
Just don't be too loud about it.
No, I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Yeah, I know.
I shout to him that we have a meeting spot, not the meeting spot.
Okay, so favor. If if for whatever reason I don't make it, I need you to do me a favor. If possible, and she's gonna kind of show the ring that she always holds on her neck. I need you to give this to somebody very important to me. If you go back to your homeland after this, and hopefully that includes the rest of us as well, since, well, I just want to continue traveling with y'all, and, you know, Cattell wants to go there, but if for whatever reason I can't join, I need you to take this ring, and on the eastern edge of, I hate saying it this way, but Jordalia. You should be able to find a Asimar named Akazriel. And I need you to give this to him and apologize for him.
Who can spell that for me? For color, not for Lynn. Thank you. Lynn will just kind of look into NVIDIA's eyes and then say, maybe you can tell me what you're apologizing for after we all make it out of this alive. But
If we all make it out alive, no need to worry about said fate.
I know. If how will I get going if something happens? Because I don't know if I'll be able to come back here.
That's true. That's actually kind of what I'm thinking about. If you can't, that's fine.
Well,
Just see, if you don't mind, just for their peace of mind, I would like for them to know what happens.
their peace of mind?
I would like for them to know what happened.
For them to know what happened?
Just do me this favor. And that's only if something bad happens, which I don't think it will. It's just one favor.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay.
Lynn trying to very gently but aggressively prod for more information.
If it is just like, no, absolutely not. You're not getting any more information. I've avoided it to this point. I'm not giving you any more information. Yeah, I gave you a name. That's all. That's as much as you're getting.
Wonderful.
That's all. Did you?
So the collapse traps are just for the tunnels, not for like the stone compound part, or
Up to you.
what do you guys think? Like in like these hallways, would that be okay?
Sorry, which hallways? I can't see recording.
Just like these main hallways and the, where we are standing.
Yeah, I was offering up like the doorways as potential ideas, but it's up to you. You could do it in the hallways instead as well, as long as we're able to avoid them as we run past.
I have one more, I believe.
Oh, and just for reference for people, the little ridges that you can see are exactly that in the area. They are just raised and lowered areas.
So like not too high, like 5
No.
feet. 6
It's
feet?
only 5 feet at most.
Okay.
So you can easily move up and around, but difficult terrain for that spot, effectively.
Got it. Cool.
debating about putting a trap in like the northern hall, even though technically that's not like our main path. I think it's still useful.
Yeah, I mean, they're on a tripwire, and they can go ahead and have an issue if they trip over it if they stuck back there.
Alright, I think that's my 8 then.
Alright, you know where all 8 are, so we're gonna be relying on you to set them off as necessary.
Yes, I will totally remember where they all are.
They
If you
are
were to
marked on the
write
map.
notes and have that down somewhere, I would feel much more confident. Alright. And then at those, how many were you making? How many of your traps were you making?
Nick, you dead? Alright, we'll assume Nick's dead for the time being until he recovers.
I just figured he can place those wherever
Yeah,
at this point.
that doesn't take much time. That's just using magic. Oh, welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
We were just
Okay.
saying if you wanted to place your trap.
Yeah, I heard
well.
that. I just
Alright.
yeah, I had 5 of them. You can place them like right next to the triggers of some of the trap,
Cool.
like service bait or something.
Definitely.
Alright. So, if you want to mark them Athos, and Cattell, Cass, you can change the color of the boxes you use so you can differentiate between your traps. So you could do yellow and purple or whatever you want. So just that way you can tell between the traps and the collapse traps. Because the collapse traps are being set up with the help of the people within the base moving stones and setting up this kind of thing. But the other traps are of your own design. So the real question is, what would you like these traps to be?
I have some gray ooze acid. If I can, like, use that in the trap, that would be good.
Yeah, that's an option. Just so you remember, grey ooze does not hurt stone, but will hurt basically everything else.
Yeah.
Other than that, there is also an excess of weapons, if that would be of any assistance. So you could set up swing traps or alchemist fire for explosives if you so desire, and whatever else your imagination can come up with. Really, we can figure something out for it.
Okie dokie.
If you have any extracts that you would like to use for this, that is also an option. if there's anything else anybody else wants to try and implement for these traps that can last for a period of time, it's probably not most magic, then you're welcome to offer that up as well.
Definitely not my specialty, and I'm sorry for that. I know it was my plan, but I really have nothing to offer. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry. You did the thinking part of it.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, I done unstuck myself.
Oh, hold on. God. Well, you'll finally start hitting things now, Lynn.
Right?
You just gotta make sure that they're not providing cover, so you can't shoot people from behind your allies. That's the big thing there.
What about Baldur? Can I shoot over Baldur's head because he's short?
He is still a medium creature, so no. If he was small, sure.
He's gonna be large. Oh god, am I gonna be large when I shapeshift once we hit 7 too?
I don't think so.
Okay. Lynn is too like small and dainty and like 5'2" or whatever she is. To become a large tiger.
But the switch, the personality change that you can try and go with it. Just 1 second. There we go. Alrighty.
Alright, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We've got the majority of the traps down, I do believe.
It is a terrifying run for them.
Oh yeah. What will be in the glyph trap, might I ask, Athos? He might still be gone, actually.
Yeah, he did say he was gonna. Be
It's fine. Alright. So, if that's where you want them, what kind of trap do you want them to be, is the question.
There's one down here. I want a flay leaf trap, so when they're like in this little area, they can get smoked out. you
Yeah,
know?
we'll start getting them high as our initial combat option, yeah. Let me double check what the effects of flay leaf even are, other than addiction. Alright. Wisdom damage and fatigue.
I mean, that could be bad against us. Wisdom damage is not great.
Hey, it would mean that they're more likely to fail against, oh, what's it called? Oh god. The telepathic reading your thoughts combat one.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
You mean Catel's ability?
No, your one.
Wait, I have a judgment for that?
No, didn't you have a spell that you've used like twice that's feathered?
Oh, the anticipate thoughts. Yeah.
Anticipate thoughts, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
That's a will save, isn't it?
Yeah, that one. I mean, the thing is I always get a
A
I always
bonus,
succeed with it,
but it's
'cause
not
at least I
as
succeed for
good.
AC.
Yeah.
It's just they always succeed their portion of it because it's not a super high will save.
Yeah, like, I think you've cast it twice and it's been on bosses both times.
Yeah, but they haven't been like real heavy will bosses. You know what I mean? They've been
Both
like,
of, I think both of them were
+4.
clerics.
Were they both clerics?
You used it on the troll and the ogre, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They were both. Sorry, I think one of them was a war priest. The other one was a cleric.
Well, that explains why they both went. Okay.
Yeah, they both had good will saves.
That's fair.
Yeah. The whole thing with the troll was that he was casting resist fire on himself,
Yes.
so he was seemingly unharmed by fire, and therefore he couldn't be killed. And the other guy, I think it was pretty obvious that you could put together that he was some kind of weird caster.
The one thing with that one is that it does increase every time that it misses me.
Hmm.
The bonuses increase.
Yeah. Is it mind affecting? I don't actually know.
I don't think it is actually.
Okay. Because, just so everyone knows, the effects of Flare Leaf specifically are that for 1 hour, you gain a +2 alchemical bonus on saves against mind affecting effects, and you are fatigued. Once that's all done, you take 1 point of wisdom damage. And then fort save versus addiction, but you know.
So it takes an hour for them to be fatigued?
No, it takes an hour for the wisdom damage to come into play. They are immediately fatigued.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for Bone Shaker, I just realized you should be doing 66 damage, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's something like that. It's 3d6 base plus 1d6 per 2 cast levels after.
It is, yeah. I had it as an additional 46, so 1d6 extra.
Oh. Well,
Cool.
your damage has gone up.
Yeah, no, right?
What is it? Yeah. No one dead for you to manipulate? Fortunately? I don't know.
Wait, what?
There's no one dead for you to use it on, though, so you know. You only get one side of it.
Yeah, undead don't take damage from it, though, admittedly.
You just make them hit each other or something like that. Yeah. There are so many weird spells in Pathfinder. Athos could prepare advanced scurvy at them.
Alright.
Alright. Nick, did you want to set up the relevant spots you want to put the traps in? And this one's for my own personal curiosity. What are you putting in the glyph ward?
Oh, that will be Screaming Flames.
Alrighty.
Oof. Please don't set that off while we are running across it.
As long as someone remembers to say the password.
Well, we won't.
Wait, all of us have to.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the question is, what are you setting the password to be?
Thank you, Athos.
Everybody who retreats with us, so including all the felonids, because hopefully they're all with us still at this point, we all have to say thank you, Athos.
Yep.
Copy that. Okay, let's make sure we pass that information along.
Hey,
We're gonna gather the felinid that are with us and be like, just so you know, This is going to be a gauntlet for them, so be very aware of where you step. We're going to point out where all the traps are. Most importantly, do you see this giant glyph on the floor? It's kind of hidden. It's meant to be that way. As you pass it, I need you to repeat this phrase. And I'm going to point at Athos. Say, thank you, Athos.
Goodness. Yeah, they'll all nod an understanding. One of them says that's actually a really smart phrase, because they might not pick up that there's actually a trap there. Might just think everyone's thanking him for the plan.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
I also decided to have a random effect on each of those, a random curse for each of those spots.
Oh,
Just
wonderful.
Scary, random. Ah, here we go. All right.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. Let's do it.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Alrighty then. So, where do you want to place those ones? Just get out a drawing tool and put it somewhere on the map. Wherever you feel like it's most applicable.
Are the purple squares, are those like the Caden traps?
Yeah, the collapse traps.
Now, just to check, how is the one in the very far south set up? The collapse trap, I mean.
Very far south.
Oh, sorry, the entrance room.
Oh. I don't know.
Is there? It's like a tunnel, not like a tunnel, but like a hallway with a staircase.
Yep,
leading to
that is
the front,
correct.
right? So would we maybe want to set it up in the hallway sort of area, so we keep in the hallway area?
I mean, if we can do that.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure and clarify how you want it all set up. Because out of all of them, that will probably be an important one to identify what goes on and how.
That one we probably should be purposely triggering.
Sorry, which one?
The collapse trap in the entrance room.
That one, I mean, would be one where we could have a pulley where we can sort of tug it where we want, when we want. Same thing with the ones in the north, west, and the southeast. Just in case we decide to go elsewhere.
Do you want them to go down this cave?
No.
I thought we were gonna block that up so it wasn't accessible.
Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, Wuxian, go get some guys over here. Let's block that area up.
They can manage that.
I will draw this one. This will be mine. There you go.
Any suggestions where I should put the other?
I have no idea where the other two are. Where did you put them?
They're the yellow circles.
Oh, the yellow circles. So there is
Yep.
one here. Is there one in the alchemical fire trap?
Like right below it, or however we're triggering that. I'm assuming that it'll fall on top of them.
Okay. Let's see. So we have a collapse trap here, which forces them to sort of like figure out, like go around or over or something. Maybe put it in, maybe one in this area.
I can't see in there.
Oh.
Use me for like, I don't know. Sorry.
We'll give you.
You can draw a yellow circle out wherever you think.
Sure.
Athos, you should have some level of vision around you now. Just to steal a
okay.
candle, yeah.
I was pressing the wrong button. Should I put a number up in this one, Athos, so we know which one it is, or are you just gonna roll every time?
Yeah, I was gonna roll.
Ah, got it. Okay. So it's a
See what happens.
It's a treasure.
All of the sneaky activities.
Okay. I suppose I do need to spend some time with Balder too, if he's gonna be heading out with Lynn for some period of time.
If the cat doesn't get his cuddles, what are you even doing with your life?
True that. Other cats aren't even half as cool as Balder is.
Exactly.
They have to be large. Balder's like just as good, and he's a medium size.
There's a medium-sized cat here that you guys haven't seen.
Oh. Is he not coming with us, or not being part of the defense team?
No, he's staying with you guys.
Oh.
They're just up in the tower. Yeah, which is the only place people haven't been on the topside map.
Got it.
It's a little snow leopard, because why not?
No.
Alright, so now that we got traps set, next up is seeing if some of Wuxian's scouts can tell us what we're looking at from what they're sending at us after maybe. I mean, we don't have to roleplay that much, but after I go out maybe with some people and just pretend to be Wuxian for a minute.
Alright. So, how do you want to handle this? Cattell will be remaining back at the base so that she can continue her crafting over that period of time, because the traps are all set up right at the end. But this will be in those earlier days. You guys know that it'll take a little bit for them to prepare, even after they get the initial reports back.
Yep.
So, getting another set of scouts out in the next 2 to 3 days is the most likely outcome. That would match up around that, yeah.
Are any of the main people, like with Wuxian, like known Wuxian conspirators? Like Pion and Ro, like, do people know them as like Wuxian's lieutenants, or are they kind of unknown?
You can give me a knowledge local check on that one.
Okay. Oop, I did not do that. Oh man. Okay. So 10 max, I think.
Yeah.
I rolled.
From what you remember, you didn't really think to ask about any people directly working with her. You don't, and no one really tells the stories about them. They might be somewhat known. Pian doesn't have a tail, which is very rare for a felid, and Ro has her burn marks. So, if anyone does know about them, they'll stand out, but otherwise, you don't think they're well known.
If it's okay with you, Pion, and Athos or Lynn, one of you guys could come with me too. Maybe just having the notoriety, obviously, of Wuxian, and then one of her lieutenants. Maybe some people know you. Let's just ride out for a little bit, get spotted, and then get obviously returned back to where we are.
Well, I can accommodate that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not fighting, we're just literally going out, getting spotted. Oh no, we got spotted, and come back. Thanks, Lynn.
Hopefully they will suspect nothing.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring one of her lieutenants, not just some random person too. Plus, they're pretty sure that Lynn and the rest of us are with you now, so might as well.
Very well.
Which is why I wanted to bring Lynn and Athos, because they know, or at least they're pretty darn sure, that we're helping you all out.
Very well. We can ride out.
And then I'll just use the mask and sorry. Yeah, why can I never remember the name of the sleeves?
The sleeves of many garments.
Yes. And use that to disguise myself as Wuxian.
Alrighty.
That should give me a straight +10, right?
It does.
Cool.
Oof.
Let's do it. Let's do it fast.
Yeah. Immediately. Quick. Alright.
The Wuxianiest Wuxian that ever Wuxian.
Does anyone need the underground map anymore?
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty. So, you guys are in the appropriate spot.
God damn it, Athos on there.
Well,
Didn't you do that?
No,
I thought it was you.
I spelled damn it with an N. I'm gonna fix that.
Was that you, DM? Or
It was, yeah. I did that the day of everything happening when I put you guys on this map.
I saw it, but I just assumed it was Lynn that did it.
Click on the party token, so I just noticed it. But yeah, I spelled damn it with MN instead of 2 M's.
Wait, that was spelled with.
I corrected it. Well, corrected it. I think my spelling is technically incorrect, but I like it better.
Because it's damn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay, I'll miss you. I'll see you again in 5 minutes when you come back to get more.
Okay. Cade. Okay. Alright, cool. Just checking, you know? Anyway.
You know my cat's names.
I mean, yeah, but I didn't know which cat it would be. It could have been one of the two. I was trying to guess if it was which one it was.
Noel sleeps on me on the couch and on the bed. Kate sleeps on me in the office.
That makes sense. Anyway. So, which direction are you guys going to go in attempt to be spotted?
Does Wuxian or scouts have any information as far as troop movements in the surrounding area? Because we know that we sent them towards that big X over there, but we also said maybe north too, and we wouldn't know if they're anywhere in this vicinity.
Well, heading off to the east may be best then, because there is a chance that they would be redirecting people, but still. This is about 2 days after everything that would have occurred, just so there's time for scouts to be, to return back, and then new ones to head out.
Okay. Well then, maybe let's go east and then north.
Alrighty. So, the group of you head out in an attempt to be spotted or find the enemy, a mix of the two, really.
Yep.
And you wander about. Can I get a D8, please? Alrighty. Cool. You guys wander throughout the day, and night begins to fall. Will you return back, or will you simply camp out?
We haven't seen anybody so far.
Not today, no.
Well, we can camp out. Might as well set a campfire.
Alrighty.
I do have a question.
Yep.
I mean, we know that Wuxian doesn't exactly want to be seen. So would she really make a fire if she's camping? Or would it, like, alert them to the fact that this is kind of a trap?
Yeah, probably. Okay, cold fire. I just want to. I want to be seen. I think it's a problem.
Wuxian would not want to be seen and
True.
be her.
Yep.
Now, when you say cold fire...
I mean, like a cold camp.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's like, I don't know.
What you're trying to say, man.
Yeah, look. You don't want to make this area is... It's summer, but it's still, like, only, like, 50 Fahrenheit.
Right, yeah. We're pretty far south.
You're pretty far south. You're not too far south, but you're, like, in the border of forests and tundra. Sorry, taiga, not tundra. Alright. So, you guys make sure to camp out for the night. Would people like to take watch or just trust in prayers? You know, it is an option.
We could take watch. Dion, what do you prefer? Last, first, middle?
I care little for it. I do not mind.
Okay. How about you take first watch, I'll do second. Or no, actually, Lynn, how about you take first watch, I'll take second, and then Peony do third. Be kind of like normal.
I will not wander off.
This may have been the time to wander off, admittedly, but...
No. That wasn't even 5 minutes, Cade.
Not even. Alrighty. Lynn, you keep a watch throughout the evening, but little seems to come about. No threats from the hills, no peering eyes in the distance, just a nice, peaceful evening. Some clouds are starting to roll in, but that's about it. Alright. In video.
Sounds good.
Similar kind of evening for you. No monsters, no people. Just the quiet of the countryside. This ominous time of waiting. Hoping that your schemes will come to fruition.
That's what I'm all about, scheming. Alright, Piana, it's your turn. Peon.
Alright.
Every time, I'm like, he's a peon. He's a peon.
Beautiful. Alrighty. What is his survival is that? I think that's enough. Alright, cool, that is enough. Nothing happens through Peon's watch. Athos, are you also there?
Yes.
Alrighty. You can go for the last watch then.
Coronis will be behind helping out with
That's all good. Cronus is being a master of engineering. Similarly, your watch is quiet. In the distance, you think you do see something, though. A bit of smoke rising into the air.
If only I had Coronis.
If only.
I'll stay here.
So, the watch has ended, and morning has come. Nothing seemed to occur throughout the night, and Pian says that he has found little, but he believes there will be some form of rain in the coming week.
Rain's coming?
Sometime soon, I do believe.
Oh, I bet it is. Anybody see anything in the watch? Any direction we should be going in?
I'll mention the direction where I saw something. Or thought I saw something at night.
Cool. Which direction is that?
That one would be somewhere between the hills and the eastern area.
Like over here?
Yeah, somewhere around that general spot.
Cool. Alright, good eye, Athos. Let's head towards danger.
In a hurry?
Not particularly. We want them to come across us on accidents, quote unquote.
Righto.
Alright.
We'll head in the direction that Athos points us.
Athos, you're the one that spotted the smoke. Can you roll me a d8?
Really?
Alrighty. So, you guys head off into the area of around the outskirts of the hills. Similar to before, there doesn't seem to be too much going on in this general area. Nice, peaceful. But the day is growing darker, with thick clouds moving in. A storm inevitably approaches from the south. As you move along, can everyone give me a survival check?
Would this be considered tracking?
This would be considered tracking. Also, on that note, Lynn's track should also be +3 at this point.
Nice, 20.
It's half your level. Alrighty. Well,
Oh, lucky 32 just
that'd be nice, you know? Good misc bonus. Alright. Everyone's able to pick out some recent tracks passing through this area. It could be people, at least it looks like it would be, but you don't know if it's the scouts you're after.
Are they headed in the direction of Anatharius?
It looks like they've been coming from the north and headed through the hills.
Headed through the hills?
Yes, going west from your current position.
Peon, what do you know about these hills? We know that they're relatively dangerous. We've been avoiding them.
There are monsters which dwell in the area. Most simply avoided. But a few travel through here, so it's an effective way to move about unnoticed.
Do you and Wuxian usually travel through there?
When the time calls for it, yes. The risk is not too great for seasoned warriors, only the simple folk, who do not know how to handle a blade.
Oh, okay. So you think our group would do alright then?
We should be fine.
Okay. Maybe head west into the hills then? Does that work for everybody? Does it seem like that would be okay?
If this is our opportunity to find who we're after, then certainly.
But you know her well. I mean, if you try and stay hidden, would she follow track? I've been trying to make sure that we maintain, like, what they would expect of her. Because if we do something that's out of characteristic for her, I'm just really worried that they're going to catch on.
True, but finding another in the hills could be a matter of coincidence. If we were to be stalking them, then perhaps not. But if they were to simply come across us by happenstance, then it would be an unlucky turn of events for us. And
Quote
they would...
unquote unlucky.
Exactly.
Okay. You know her best. I will trust your judgment.
In the event that they see us, should we run in the direction of the south? Or what would be the best bet as far as making them kind of confirm where we are going?
Pian will pull out his longbow. I shall go ahead and blind them with a screen of smoke. From that, it should be able to give a false sense of our escape and cover.
But we want them to follow us.
Well, yes, but as Lynn was saying, we're attempting to cover our tracks and make it seem like we do not want to be seen.
Okay.
If
So
they
yeah, as
can-
long as you're confident that they would get the wrong/right idea of where we want to go.
The smoke will not last long.
Okay.
It should
They
simply
could maybe
provide an effective
follow our
escape.
tracks.
Supposedly, yes. They should be competent enough for that.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's do that then.
Very well. So, you guys begin following the tracks and moving through the area. It takes some time, but it seems like whoever you're pursuing is being cautious as well. Eventually, you come to what looks to be an intersection amid the cliffs. A single point that dips down, a small pool of water there. Around each side are cliffs. And you know the tracks have split off in this area.
What do you mean by split off? Sorry.
They seem to have gone away from the path they were traveling and headed up into the hills. But
That's.
the set of tracks still seems like they're from the same people.
So do we want to continue going in that direction? I'm asking Peon and Lynn, since they actually have had some pretty good ideas as far as how to make this look as realistic as possible.
Well, we could be stopping for water here and simply hold out and wait for a moment, see if they spot us, and then move on as soon as they do.
They have a lot of good vantage points. Like, this is almost a great area for an ambush. Let's note it down for later.
If you have any other suggestions, I'm open to them. But that is my opinion on the matter. Everyone needs water.
It's a good idea. Let's go ahead and take a break for a minute, team. I'm still looking like Wuxian, right?
Yes.
It'd be really weird if I wasn't.
Just ignoring your own plan. Don't worry about it, man.
Oh shit! Totally forgot.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's hang out here and drink water, obviously.
Alright. You guys don't exactly make camp, but sit down for the time being, making a relative show of relaxing in this hidden alcove of an area. And eventually, you think that this bears some kind of fruit. Everyone give me a perception check.
Nice.
Alrighty. Athos and Vidi, you hear something coming nearby. But, Lynn, you identify that it is something that's coming, but doesn't sound human. You can hear low snarls and faint grunts from whatever it is. Sounds bestial.
Familiar. Would Balder be wiggling like a weirdo?
It does indeed sound familiar. You think you can hear hissing
vividly.
Yeah, that creature.
Didn't you say that creature was with somebody? Something?
Yes.
Well, that's a good sign.
Oh, I did not want to come back in the email. I did it anyway.
Wait, what?
I didn't want to go back in these hills.
Well, this time you're not by yourself, so.
That's true.
How close do you think it is? I say I remember looking like Wuxian regularly, not super loud.
How close do I think it is? DM?
Not too far away. Probably just beyond the crest of one of those ambush points, effectively.
Okay.
It's creeping up to ambush us. Pion, I encountered a Commandant, is that what it's called?
That is what it's called. A book game.
A few nights ago, and it wasn't super friendly, and I'm pretty sure I hear it coming up on us.
We're pretty sure that's what the scout was fighting, yeah? That found us?
That's pretty sure what Lynn thinks she saw.
Okay.
Alright. Well, if it's coming, we should move. It'll be able to spot us regardless. Come.
Right. Do we want to pretend like we haven't seen it yet?
I think that will matter not.
Okay. Well, then let's maybe play it up like we have sensed it and hurry off. You know?
Alright.
Linda's just kind of staring towards the sound. Still ever curious, despite the fact that it could have been very bad for her.
It still could be very bad for you. Let's not spend too much time staring at it.
Alright. You begin to move out and away. And in the distance you can see the giant hunting cat drop to the pool of water and begin to sniff over what was there. You can tell that it's spotted you as you move away, but it makes no efforts to pursue you. You do believe you have been spotted.
Okay. We all ready to run for home? That's the best bet, right?
Let's get back.
Alright, let's get back.
It was at least 5 minutes that time.
Yeah, well, this was actually our cat.
Oh, okay then.
Oh.
They're just trying to communicate to each other through your microphones.
He doesn't meow loud enough to actually kind of pick up on my mic unless he's in the other room and it still picks it up.
Oh.
Do you know all our cats' names?
I don't think I know any of your cat's names.
Did you
I
get
just making fun
names?
because you knew your cat's names.
Oh.
I don't even remember if you posted your cat's names.
I think we have, but
Oh,
that was Alice.
Oh yeah, Lena and Alice. And Murmur.
Yeah, there you go.
I went to the top of Alt Topic and looked it up. I'm cheating.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, we're running back so that we are back in Dodge before the cat thinks that we're not actually Wuxian.
Yes. So, you do manage to make your hasty retreat, but the question is, night begins to fall and you're still a distance away. What would you like to do?
We can rest once we get to the keep, right?
You can, but that's still another half a day's walk from where you are. You
Well,
could push
on
yourselves for
horseback.
those few hours.
We're on horseback, yeah?
Did you bring horses? I actually don't remember if you did that.
Yeah, I was saying ride out and
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Still, I wasn't measuring this. This is purely based on you spent a day getting out
X amount
there.
of time, X amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so we still are waiting for them to get back with information anyway, so we don't need to go out and do anything too early. We can just make a beeline back, rest today, and we should be fine. Right, Beyond?
Yes. If he returns today, then they will begin to move them out.
Right, and we have time. We can actually send out a lot of the other feeling is to sort of act as scouts for us. We don't have to do everything, I assume.
No.
Cool.
It is
Just
not
double check.
one person's war.
Alright, well, yeah, that'll be the plan. Let's, the four of us, rush back, just in case. And heck, maybe it will think that we're trying to save time. Would Wuxian usually rush back in this situation?
Well, I'm afraid to say that she hasn't been caught in such a manner just yet.
Okay, well, in our defense, we're trying to be caught, so... Okay, yeah, let's rush back, give ourselves a good rest, and then once we hear what the scouts have to say when we wake up, we can formulate the next part of the strategy then.
Very well. Alrighty. So, if people are going back, who feels like giving me constitution checks?
Not great, but not bad either.
Don't worry, the starting DC is 10, nice and easy. Just don't roll garbage.
For me, that's a 9, so...
And I do mean con checks, not fort saves.
Yeah, no, I know. Fort saves would be great.
Fort saves would be, like, passable.
Ooh.
Ooh!
We get all the way there. No, just kidding.
You get through the first hour of forced marching without fatigue.
How long is this going to take? 6 hours?
4 hours. So another 3 checks.
Okay.
That's still a pass.
That's not.
6 is not.
That's fair.
Alright, Nvidia, you are fatigued as you begin this scramble back.
I know this is my idea. I don't regret it.
Alright, Lynn, you're completely fine until the keep is within sight, and then you begin to wear.
Should I still make Constitution saves?
Yes, it is. Until you may go while fatigued, but you will take non-lethal damage.
Okay. Oh, Con's not affected by fatigue. Look at that. Doesn't matter. Alright, how much non-lethal damage do I take?
Only... Oh, sorry, there's one originally, and then this one, so you take a whopping 3 non-lethal damage from when you become fatigued.
Okay.
And...
One more.
Yep. Let me just double check myself. Okay, cool. Yeah, it just continues to be 1d6.
Cool.
Alright, so you take 5 more points of non-lethal, and then the last one you pass anyway.
Alright, so it took a total of 8, yeah?
Yes. And Lynn, you take 2 points of non-lethal damage. Remember, non-lethal heals are at a rate of 1 per 1 hour, once rested.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the sack when we get back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna worry about changing my sheet then.
Oh, yeah, don't. Nvidia ends up exhausted, but, you know, still alive. The really dangerous one is to constantly hustle.
I mean, exhausted for me is really bad.
Oh, yeah.
I just switched it. It's really bad.
You hit exhausted. You have a strength of 1 and can no longer carry anything.
It's not only that, but if I take any strength damage, I die, don't I?
No, because this is a temporary penalty.
Oh, okay, got it.
So
Alright, well.
you're mostly fine in that regard.
I know this was my idea. I'm just gonna roll off the horse, fall on the ground, and be like, I know this is my idea. I don't regret anything. Where's a bed?
A ghost appears from the old fort, slaps you, and you instantly die from the strength damage. No.
So I'll take that right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Worth it. Anyway.
I'm taking the exhaustion off because I assume I can sleep it off.
Yeah, you sleep for 1 hour, then you sleep for 8 hours, so you're no longer fatigued or exhausted.
Wonderful.
Easy solutions when you have a defensible place to return to.
Exactly. That's my thought. This wasn't a situation of us going into the end.
Yeah. Force marching isn't a terrible thing to do. People are always afraid of it, though.
Yeah, because if you fail 2 in a row, you have 1 strength left. You can't stand up.
Yeah. And so you just go until one person fails, and you're set. And then you pray that no night attacks happen.
You guys don't need me. You guys can...
Yeah. NVIDIA never does anything in combat, right, guys? Right?
Never.
Never.
Well, I mean, she basically dies in every single combat, so I mean, it's not far from the truth.
I feel like it might be. Just putting it out there.
Alright. I hope that works.
Only time will tell. Because for now, you have returned back to the base safely. And by all likelihood, they have as well. So, movements of the Fionid also occur now. On the following day, they'll head out and do what they can to scout out the area.
I hope that I gave them a list of instructions. I hope they kind of followed it.
Yes. They will ask how risky you want them to be in their actions. If they come across people, should they just report back, or would you rather they do try and take out 1 or 2 of them before beating a retreat?
Are we talking scouting or guerrilla tactics?
Yes to both.
Scouting, absolutely not. They are only doing reconnaissance, counting people, seeing what they have, and who is with them.
Alrighty.
So yeah, let's do scouting first.
Okay. So, you guys have another 2 days to figure out what you're doing while the scouts are off figuring things out. Cattell has been working tirelessly throughout this period. Cronus has been assisting where he can, moving over vials and jars when needed. But
Thank you, Cattell. Thank you, Coronis.
you're welcome. What do you guys want to do with the time that you do have?
I'm sleeping.
Sleeping? Just
Yeah,
resting up?
at least until I am definitely not exhausted.
Oh, no, that's on the next day, you'll be fine.
Okay.
But you still have another 2 days before the scouts will be able to return with any form of reasonable information.
Okay.
They should be arriving about the same time that Wuxian will be preparing to leave.
Okay. And then once they arrive, how many days left do we have?
From that point when they return, there will be 2 days.
So we can do a little bit of guerrilla stuff.
You can get at least 1 night's of guerrilla tactics in.
So 1 night of not letting them sleep at all.
If you were to meet up with the scouts out in the middle, you'd be able to get more information and potentially be able to get 2 nights. But that is the point that you have to consider. Every night that they don't sleep is a night that you aren't sleeping.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I guess I'd give them the information that scouts and then okay, here's the thing. Scout, get a good idea of what their capacities and capabilities are, and then harry them in any way you can once they start to march. Give yourselves at least like a couple days to get back as well, obviously, first.
Oh goodness. Sound like a bird than a cat.
Sorry.
You're all good.
I'm pretty sure that was my cat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
It's all good. Anyway, please continue.
Give us 1 second.
Okay. Anyway, Lynn, Cullen, you'll be having your farewells soon.
I know.
What do you have planned out for that?
Well, I'm still broke, so I didn't buy any new gifts or anything for it.
Obviously, you don't.
Lynn doesn't really want to acknowledge that she's separating from the party, so she is just kind of like shoving that in the back of her mind, and she's not actually going to leave them, so she doesn't need to prepare any farewells or anything.
Alright, so
'Cause
just.
otherwise, she wouldn't be able to actually talk herself into leaving, so she's just pretending that it's not her.
So she's going to sneak away in the middle of the night so no one notices that she's gone, and therefore she doesn't have to say goodbyes, because it isn't goodbye.
She'll still say bye when they actually leave. She's gonna make it short and sweet and
Not dramatic.
yeah. We shall try.
Alrighty then. Just something to consider, because we've got a little bit of time before we end the session, and...
So we'll be back in just a second.
Oh yeah, you're all good. Is there anything anyone wants to do in that meantime?
And we'll, with Wuxian's blessing, probably just spend some time in that room. Just chilling, thinking. If she doesn't have Wuxian's blessing, then she'll just not go in there.
No, she'll
She'll
let
go
her
around
go
and
in
she'll
there.
meet all of the millions of people there and learn a little bit about them and why they're there and why they support
I will copy paste all of the relevant backstories in there, goddammit. Oh
Other than
god.
that, I mean, she's gonna keep it to herself.
Yep.
Not talking to Athos. She's still mad at Athos.
But yes, Wuxian will let you go into that room. Because I don't know if anyone actually would have gone in there.
Alright, sorry guys.
Kitty's okay?
Kitty's okay. Kitties were fighting, so we had to make sure they were separated. Okay.
Okay.
I get that.
Cats doing cat things.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Just I think I was just gonna tell them to like harry them, and as soon as they started to march, just do whatever they could to keep them awake.
Alright, so that's a yes to scout and guerrilla tactics then?
Yes, but we do still want them to at least maybe send one or two of them to with information.
Okay then. So, they'll be sending 4 of the people out. And you want one of them to make their way on their own and return back, while the others work on being disruptive.
Yeah, being disruptive. I don't want them to take too many risks, but just like being disruptive, not letting them sleep, maybe even making them feel like there's more of them than there actually are.
They will do what they can.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that is the plan for them.
And then while we're waiting on them, could we break down part of that wall and make it look real bad?
Yep, you can do that. If you'd like, you can give me knowledge engineering.
Could we borrow Coronas?
Coronas can be the foreman.
I mean, that's still a 10.
Yeah. I'd say you assist, but you can't really assist on this. Alright. You and a few of the other people around go ahead and damage the wall, and with Cronus' guidance, manage to destroy part of it, but then patch it back up. So it looks like it's if an old wound upon the fort, and that should be easily exploitable.
Alright, and then the rest of it, let's fill with whatever flammable material they were able to bring back, so hay and grass and things like that, so that we could have maybe a couple well-placed fire arrows, put the rest of the wall in flames.
Yes. With the supplies you brought back from Yandao, there is an excess of food and hay and the like that you can utilize for this.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. So, you begin the preparations, and the 5th day comes around, and at that point one of the scouts does return. He informs you of the goings on. It seems like they've just been deployed from Anapharius, gathering up the few troops they have within there that are willing to leave the city. It doesn't seem like they're too numerous, but they will greatly outnumber everyone here. In total, there appears to be... excuse me while I begin manually counting.
Okay.
So, it seems like they're about 30 men strong.
30? 30?
30. They have 2 ox with wagons behind them. That seems just to be of food and weaponry, whatever they may need. And notable figures include someone riding a snake cat.
Yep.
And Asima.
Oh, we can maybe flip her.
And Payek is on his way as well.
We may be able to at least get Payek to step aside.
With that report, it is about the time in which Wuxian is preparing to leave. They are gathering their things and readying themselves to leave on the next day.
I'd like to warn her and Lynn to keep an eye out for Suresha, since she has not been seen with the group coming towards us.
Oh, yes. Something the scout points out is that they don't really know if the Crimson Tessin have any kind of markings on them, but most of the people there seem to just be militia members.
He's probably too afraid to send the Crimson Tism out, which is too bad. I was hoping to kill her here. But maybe Athos is able to flip her. I don't know.
Who knows what happened there?
Who knows? Probably not. Probably not that at all. Almost certainly that didn't happen.
I mean, you never know. Athos can roll me a perform check retroactively.
Perform?
A perform check.
What category of performance would this be?
A non-category of perform.
You know what? To make it even funner, let's make it a hidden one.
Ah, that sounds even better.
It's a +2, so...
Okay, let's do that.
How do I roll blind one?
/GR instead of just /R. If you want to do it via the sheet, in configuration, I think it's called. There should be a box called Query for skill checks, and that's how you set that up. Alrighty. Interesting. Who knows if he flipped her over? You know. Anything could happen, guys.
I did not mean it like that. I did not mean it like that. Like... You know what I mean? Flip her to our side. Flip her to non-action. Did not mean it in the way that was stated.
Oh, goodness. Don't worry, I know what you meant. Alrighty. So, yes, Wuxian does begin to pack up a lot of the things sitting around the base, hearing that you're kind of going to be ruining a good portion of the entrance ways and whatnot.
It's going to be tough to get back in here. And if you do, there may be, like, buried people, so be careful.
Yes. It is understandable. Please, use any of the wood that you see fit. The tables will not serve anybody for much longer.
True.
And just be sure none of it falls apart on you. Ro did her best to use magic to mend a majority of it, but, well, it was old when we found it. So, do not feel bad about the destruction of any property here.
I forgot I was going to make a roll, by the way.
Oh, go ahead.
Before Lynn leaves. I was going to make a drawing, do another drawing of all of us together.
I have faith that this will be extra well done because it's so sweet.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
26 is pretty good by most people's standards. You
I added it
paint.
to the inventory, I just totally forgot to roll for it.
Yeah. While everyone is preparing for the raid, in that small bit of time that you have waiting, everyone's eating food together. You don't know if you'll all be around each other ever again. You certainly hope you will, but what comes next will determine that. But at least for the time being, you'll have this memory of each of you together. And on that day, Lin and Wuxian depart, headed for Anapharius and to end this conflict, while you await your side of it. Unless anyone has anything to say, that is where we will end this session.
Lynn will say goodbye to everybody. She will just kind of like stare at Athos for a few seconds and then shake his hand very awkwardly And then she will give Cattell like a very gentle, light hug and just say, "Be safe." And then she'll look at Nvidia for a few seconds and then start tearing up and give her like the biggest hug she's ever given anybody in her life, and then let go, and then just like walk away as fast as she can.
Oh, okay.
Balder licks your face in response.
Here, Balder, when she's done being a little embarrassed, I want you to give this to her, and I will put the picture that I drew of all this together. I'll put that, kind of wrap it up in Balder's color. So,
Okay.
to Lynn when necessary.
Yeah. He can do that. Alrighty. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. It was a slow session of planning and preparation, but next week we will get into the meat of it all.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's get ready. It's almost time. Time for plans to come to fruition, schemes to be undone, and much blood to be spilled.
My schemes to be undone, most likely.
We'll see how things go. Who knows? Maybe all of your plans will go perfectly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Who knows? It's entirely possible. Goodness. Alrighty. So yes, I do hope everyone enjoyed themselves, and I look forward to seeing how it all culminates next week.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, everyone. Hope you have a good night, and I will see you next time.
Okey-dokey. Bye.
Hey, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Alright. Hope anyone who's watching enjoyed the planning session. Sorry, it's always going to be quiet and slow while people figure shit out. But look forward to next week.